Hi, this is Klaus Meine of the Scorpions. You're watching the Mitch, Lafon and Jeremy White Show. Stay tuned.
An all-new episode of the Mitch, Lafon and Jeremy White Show.
Tuesday at noon.
Available wherever you stream.
All right, brand new record called Rock Believer coming out on February 25th. You can pre-order it now wherever you get your music. Zappos Theater at Planet Hollywood. Big Residency kicking off on March 25th as well. Really excited to be talking to the one, the only, Klaus from the Scorpions. Hi, Klaus. How you doing?
Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Mitch. Hi, I'm fine. How are you guys?
Good. Good.
Right.
Well, I'm a lot better now because I've actually had a chance to hear your album twice. And as a huge fan, I can say you have absolutely hit it out of the park. It is exactly what an old school fan wants. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. First of all, thanks for having me on the show, guys. And that's great to hear. I mean, this is a time where the first reviews coming in, and like just what you said, Mitch, this is what we try to achieve. There was a whole approach with this album because one of our good friends and diehard fan from the early days said, guys, if you make a record like Blackout,
Yeah.
then you hit it on the head. This is what so many people, so many fans would expect from you. And we say, okay, it's easy to say. It's 40 years ago. Come on, give me a break. But we took it like a challenge, because to be honest, we were not thinking about making a new album at all. This was around 2018 after a show in Athens. And then we thought about it and we made the decision, and from the very early days, we really focused on the hard and heavy community, and we took it serious, even though it's 40 years later. But we tried to reactivate the Scorpions DNA and go exactly that way, leaving outside writers out there, if possible. I mean, for two songs there are outside writers in there in the end of the day, but
nothing wrong with an outside writer.
More or less, it's focused on typical Scorpions songs, Schenker Meine compositions, and of course Matthias throw a couple songs in there as well. It's a typical Scorpions album, and that's what we try to do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I would say as a fan that the album sounds fresh but familiar. And I like it.
Great. Thank you. I mean, the Corona time, the worldwide pandemic definitely gave us some extra time here in the studio. We plan to record the album in Los Angeles with Greg Fiedelman as a producer. And because of travel restrictions, we couldn't go there. We were stuck right here. And we had Greg every other day coming in via Zoom, going through all the pre-production and stuff in the middle of 2020, I think. And we were stuck here in Hanover, but at the same time, we had a really good setup here. And from the technical point of view, the studio setup was first class, was fantastic. We had an amazing sound. And it was not too bad after all these years of playing shows all over the world to sleep in your own bed at night,
Right. Yeah, I can imagine. And talking from a technical standpoint, I mean, listening to this record, I just want to say, first off, it's already the best sounding record of 2022 in the rock world sonically.
Yep.
You put on the record, and, I was listening to Seventh Son, for example, and the production on the mix of the bass and the drums and everything about it is just so sonically pleasurable. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, you guys have had some of the best sounding records through the years. What was the biggest difference about recording this record versus the stuff in the past?
I mean, it would have been easy to go and pick it up where we left it with Return to Forever in 2015, work with our Swedish fans. But it was a totally different way making an album, and so we left our comfort zone and we started this time. I mean, I started with writing lyrics in 2019 without any music at all. It was like a storyteller kind of thing. and I sent Rudolf the lyrics saying, give me a killer riff, my friend. There's got to be some gas in the tank.
It's got to be catchy. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just on my own, working on lyrics, and it was really like a dialogue. Rudolf was in Thailand at the time, and I was saying, come on, give me a killer riff, Can we still do this? I was still good enough. Give me some shit here, and he did. He was inspired very much himself, doing this the other way around. We were so used to, and I was so used to also writing words on the music, and this time was the other way around. So this is how we started, and and when we came here together in the studio, it was around May 2020. Then there were 20, 30 songs. We had lots and lots of material to pick the best ones, and with Hans Martin Buff, we had an amazing engineer. He used to work for Prince in Minneapolis for many years. Wow. So he knows exactly what he's doing. So we had a great team, great setup. And because of the travel restrictions, like I said, we started with Greg working via Zoom. Our dinner time was his breakfast time, and we were working through arrangement and stuff with him until it came to a point where we wanted to record. And Greg said, I have to be with you guys in one room. You have to come to Los Angeles. We have to wait until the travel restrictions will be lifted off a bit, or we have to wait for whatever time it will be, and we felt so confident at the time that we said, we don't want to lose the momentum. We're right in this so much, so deep into this thing, we want to keep going, and then we decided to produce the album our own, together with Hans Martin, and to trust in our own team, and it was such a challenging moment at the time. Of course, we all like when you have the album in your hand and it says recorded in Los Angeles, California,
Yeah.
But I think, for us, it was good to say this time it's recorded Hanover, Germany, and it's hometown, it's our home base. And it was just completely trust in ourselves and our own team and the way we could do it, and without any influence coming from the outside,
So did you guys record this live off the floor as a band?
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
This was an idea, especially with Mickey D in the band since 2016. Mm-hmm. Mickey gave us a good, fresh shot of fresh
ass
energy.
Of extra energy, because he adds so much power.
There was no question about it. We had to be in one room and to record the songs live. Of course, I had my vocal tracks or working tracks, whatever, but the band was in the room behind me, and we recorded all the songs and to figure out how it feels to play it live, because was one of the reasons we made this album. We wanted to change our set list, and throw in a couple of new ones. And I can tell you right now, there's definitely more than one or two songs in the new set list now, because there's so many great songs. They feel great to play them live, and that's the way we recorded it,
Well, listen, I'm hoping to hear "Shoot for Your Heart" live, because that is a great song. You're talking about when you're writing the album, you say, well, give me a great riff. But when you look back at what you've done over the last few years, whether it's Humanity Hour 1 with Desmond, Sting in the Tail, Return to Forever, you've had some of your best material in the last 20 years. Is there a lack of confidence going into the process, or is it just sort of the creative thing where you always say, oh, I don't know if, are you still looking to make the next great record, or the next one being the best one?
I mean, one thing is for sure, to make an album, to make this decision after all these years, I mean, if you start, this will be a long and crazy run that starts right the day you make a decision to make a record, And if you make it, then you better do it right, and you want it to be a great album. Not thinking about anything like this could be the last album or something.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but to make the best album at the time, and to bring all the creativity, bring all the qualities of the guitar players, of the drums, bass, the singer, bring it all together as a team and make the best out of it, effort to hopefully come up with something amazing, you know. And of course, in the best way, best scenario, if you really surprise your fans with something maybe a lot of people don't expect
Right.
after this long career. So I was still capable of doing this. Can we pull this off and really come up with a great record? You know, this is the question you ask yourself. And it's like I said, we have an empty piece of paper. There was no drawer where you are looking for old songs. Maybe I can use this one, or here find another
like
one.
Rock My Car or whatever on Return to Forever.
Nothing of this about this at all. You know, it was all brand new songs, and you had to go deep, take a deep dive in your creative world, and hoping you find some gold. You hit the gold mine, you know, but you don't know. You never know. And but when the ball gets rolling and it all started, and then when we came together here and the first songs came up, you know, it felt really good, and we felt good as a band together. And of course, guys, in a way, during this pandemic, for us, it was like therapy. It was fantastic. We had the chance to come here in our own bubble, close the door and leave Corona outside, you know, and work our songs, create new music, and we had a great time. So we didn't make this album because of the pandemic. We made this album because it was planned to make this record. And when we came back from Australia and Southeast Asia in early 2020,
right,
when we came home with wearing masks from Singapore, nobody else did around here in Germany. And 2 weeks later,
everybody
crazy,
did.
You know,
yes. After that.
So we were very lucky in that sense, and I have no reason to complain. We were stuck here, but in a good way, you know, and it felt really good to use these lockdown times the best we could, you know.
The best you could. Just real quick, Dieter Dierks, of course, was the producer on a lot of the classic albums. When you're going into this album in terms of production, do you sort of go back and say, okay, if we're going to do the old riffs and the old thing and get you like another Blackout, do you go back to sort of his production techniques and say, you know, what would Dieter do right now? What would he do?
No, we didn't. We didn't. I mean, it's one thing to set your mind on the early 80s, but we wouldn't go too far, you know. Then we could have gone to Cologne and to make this album with Dieter Dierks, you know, if we wanted to go the whole way. But even that, you don't know where we would go doing that, you know.
Right.
Come out of that scenario, nobody knows, you know. Maybe it would have been great, you know. Dieter's a great guy, and we definitely owe him a lot in our career, you know. He did a great job on so many iconic albums, you know, looking back, you know. But this is not only to look back, this is also looking forward, you know, and making this album like an album of the way it should sound today. Now, we also did an Atmos 3D mix for you guys, just to know there will be an option to listen to this record in Atmos 3D, which sounds like you mentioned, Seventh Son. When you listen to that, you know, it goes, wow, it's fantastic, you know. So we used all the modern technology to make it sound like 2022, but the spirit And what we wanted to achieve was way back in 80s, like Blackout, Love at First Sting, and try to find the Scorpions DNA, whatever that is. When we talk about it, we don't even know what it is, but I think our fans, they hear it in the songs, they hear it in the songwriting. What for them, this is a Scorpion song, this is a typical Scorpion song, and this is what we try to find.
We're speaking with Klaus from the Scorpions, brand new record, Rock Believer, coming out on February 25th. You can pre-order it now wherever you get your music. Also, Residency at the Zappos Theater at Planet Hollywood, kicking off on March 25th. Klaus, you're talking about the classic Scorpion sound and kind of going for that kind of vibe. When a lot of bands are going out on the road and just mailing it in, they go out and play the hits. I mean, you could easily go out and play Rock You Like a Hurricane and No One Like You Till the Cows Come Home, but you keep putting out this incredible, this record, I think it's the best rock record of 2022 already. And 50 years later, how have you not run out of riffs yet is the question.
That's a good question to the riff master.
But even that lyrically, how do you still have songs left in the chamber?
Yeah, that was the question I asked myself in 2019 when I asked myself, what the hell is it what you want to write about? What is it what you want to say, And I was afraid for Rudolf to send me 20 demos with vocal lines already where to put the words in, So I thought this time I better come up with the stories and what is it what I want to say, So, and I started thinking about moments in time, countries, cities, or maybe special events where we all feel connected with, and like, for example, Knock 'Em Dead is one of those songs. It's about when we played for the first time in the United States. And our managers before we went out on stage, they always said, "Go knock 'em dead, knock 'em dead." Yeah. And so we did. And it's in the hook line, it says, "Knock 'em dead, don't let the fame go to your head. I want it all and nothing less."
Right.
So the mind was back in 79, for that song, It would be stupid to say I want it all and nothing less. Thinking 2022, So This was right back there, and little things and stories, and also there's one of the bonus tracks for the UK called Hammersmiths, which is about when we played 75 in the UK for the first time, playing iconic venues, clubs like the Marquee in London, in Soho, and where we met Lemmy for the first time. So actually, Mickey wrote that song with Rudolf together, So this is also one of the surprise tracks, But this is where I started writing stories, and that's why I think the lyrics are pretty strong this time around. And it was a different approach, just telling like a storyteller kind of thing.
One of my favorite ballads by the Scorpions is A Moment in a Million Years. I think it's just absolutely one of the greatest things you've ever done. Talk to me just real quick about the Eye to Eye album, because it really was an artiste or an artistic statement. I know folks always, poo-poo over, but Priscilla, Obsession to Be... These are great songs. Are you proud of that moment and that you took the chance to make an artistic statement and not just sort of chase a single?
Yes, and also we had a great artist as a producer. Peter Wolf, who used to play keyboards in Frank Zappa's band. He had a beautiful studio in Swiss or Austrian. It was Austria. I think it was Austrian Alps. Very beautiful setting. And there are a couple of great songs on there. But for some reasons, it was the end of the 90s. We were experimenting a little bit, and we went out there maybe a little bit too far. But when you check it out, it's a great album. And like the songs you mentioned, and Moment in a Million Years,
beautiful song.
It could have been recorded maybe in a lot of different ways. I think on the album, what we did was the piano version where Peter Wolf played piano. And yeah, it's a beautiful song. You're right. So there are a couple of great songs on there. But at the same time, in this moment in time where rock was really like gone.
It was on a downward spiral, and that's why it was the perfect album, because it gave you a chance to just experiment. And
it gave us a chance to experiment. And the next thing we did was a Moment of Glory with the Berlin Philharmonics, and then we came back with Unbreakable, which we recorded actually right here at this place, Peppermint Park, 2003, and when rock came back full circle,
Yeah. But Blood Too Hot, one of your greatest songs.
I look back, and especially when I think Eye to Eye and all those sessions in Austria, I think also I'm glad that we stayed together. We kept the band intact, and we kept going through those difficult times where it sometimes it felt like it would have been easy to go and let it go and say, that's it. There's no audience for rock anymore. It's totally different.
But where did that audience go, Klaus? Like where did all the rock fans go?
I think that's when we heard the first time, rock is dead,
Yeah. Well, was it like early 90s? Was it because of Nirvana?
I don't know, and we heard rock is dead many years later with rap and hip hop, all those different genres. And of course, today, hip hop and rap is very popular all over the world. No question about it. But we think hard rock and heavy rock, is still very well and alive, and there are millions of rock believers out there. And this is where we recorded this album, where we dedicated this record and this song, Rock Believer, to the worldwide rock believers out there, because they're not dead at all. They're very well and alive. You see it like in big festivals like the Wacken Festival.
Yeah.
There's still a huge fan base out there. We can't wait to share the new music with our fans around the world. We play the Hellfest in France this summer. There are 100,000 tickets sold already. So the hard and heavy community is there and is very well and alive.
Yeah, I'll just say one thing. We never left. Radio left the bands. Exactly. I bought all the albums.
Exactly. Even today, when you listen to mainstream radio, you would never hear a Scorpions song. You would never hear Guns N' Roses or Aerosmith or Whitesnake, because you hear The Weeknd, or all these other new acts, new bands, very popular music, and sometimes also great, great songs. But you're right, it's the media that puts rock and heavy metal in this corner, but people are there, and the rock believers are there around the world, and they're still going strong. It's your brothers and sisters, and maybe the father goes like, check out this band, and so it goes from generation to generation. And this is what we see right now. And we can't wait.
I bought them all. I bought Unbreakable.
Like a hurricane.
Go ahead.
You know what, Klaus, I mean, it's funny you say that. I mean, radio left and all this stuff. I mean, you listen to modern day rock radio and you put on an alt station, you're going to get 21 Pilots and you're going to get the Black Keys. But if you put on classic rock radio, well, they're going to play No One Like You and Rock You Like a Hurricane, and they won't touch the new stuff. I mean, why do you think that is? Like, is there a stigma around the classic acts putting out new music? Like, what is it?
I really don't know. But I know what you're talking about. You have a new album out and you listen to your favorite rock station, and on comes No One Like You or Still Loving You or Wind of Change. They used to play always the hits, and it takes a long time until the new material goes into the regular playlist, I guess,
Yeah.
But I hope with this album, this process will be a little quicker, a little faster.
Well, I'm hoping to hear Seventh Son on my local rock station because I'll tell you what, that is the best song of this new record, Mitch. And he and I, we've been fighting over this. I'm like, it's Seventh Son.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
We've been fighting because I keep telling him it's shoot for your heart. That's what I keep telling him. But
No, thank you. Yeah.
Klaus,
There's
you
a lot
had
of
one.
stuff on there, and like Seventh Son is one of those heavy songs that very much in the same vibe, like China White or Animal Magnetism, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really cool, very strong album track.
One last, well, just before we wrap up, of course, brand new record coming out on February 25th, Rock Believer. You can pick that up now. Talking about going and making this new record, has it been a fun experience? I mean, just looking at the album cover alone, I saw the album cover. I'm like, this is a Scorpions album cover. I mean, just looking at the whole thing and the sound, I mean, it's classic Scorpions to me. Was it a fun time to go in and do this?
The album cover,
Everything.
everything. Of course, it was a fun time. I mean, we have the time of our lives, you know. I mean, Rudolf and myself, we're a little over 70 now. It's like it comes hardly over my lips, but that's the way it is, you know. But we stay young in our hearts, you know. But of course, this is a very special moment in our life. Who knows how long this road is with us, you know, how long we walk this road, how long we are out there as road warriors, you know, and how long can we keep up the flame until we pass it on to the next generation. I don't know, we're very grateful for this long journey, and this album, Rock Believer, might be the ice on the cake, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
no, I need more. I need more. Get into the studio for the next one, please.
Yeah, believe it or not, you know, this is what we were saying when we came to the end of the mixing, the mastering process, and all that. You know, it was we were here. What we do now? What can we do now? You know,
just
and
keep going.
Hans Martin said, "Let's keep going." We just keep going recording.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll say this quickly as a fan. I'll let Jeremy finish. The albums you've made in the last 20 years, and I've said it at the beginning, are some of the best music you have ever released. Humanity Hour 1 is perfection. It's just absolutely a perfect record. And I love everything on Return to Forever. And there you go. Jeremy, go ahead, wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Thank you so much.
Brand new album, Rock Believer, coming out February 20. Make sure you go get your tickets, by the way. This residency at the Zappos Theater, Planet Hollywood, is going to be absolutely phenomenal. What can fans expect from the residency in Vegas?
Well, a new set list and a new show. You know, we have another meeting about all the content that will be on the video LED walls, you know, and stuff. We have another meeting right here tomorrow, and the last meeting we had, we saw all the new stuff, the new stage set, everything was like, wow, we were blown away, you know. So we are excited. Not only present new songs, but also like the whole new show. It will be a whole new look, you know. And I mean, yeah, I hope we're not too rusty, you know. We I think it's crazy when you think about it, you know. It's 2 years break. It's like, oh God, no, you know. So, but I'm sure since this residency and the US fans will treat us very nice, and I'm sure they're excited as much as we are. And of course, we come back for a Canadian and US tour later this year. Yeah. It's all in the working right now, and it looks like we kick off the tour in the fall in Toronto.
Nice. Well, hopefully we'll get you to
and
Montreal.
You see, they did a farewell tour before. They can't leave. They can't. No. They can't quit. They can't.
You're not, Klaus. We're not going to let you quit. Just stop it now. Enough of this.
Yeah, stop it. There you go. Finish it off. Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you, Klaus.
And real quick, I just want to say, Klaus, you're very special to me as a SpongeBob fan. You are part of the SpongeBob universe with David Bowie and Dee Snider. So you're a part of a very exclusive club. And I wanted to say thank you for your support of SpongeBob.
Thank you. Yeah, last SpongeBob was cool.
Do you think you'll do any more of that, or was that like that's it?
No, that was that, you know. So no, but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
you know. but now I became a spy, you know.
Yes.
Oh, that's
exactly.
right. With the CIA. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go listen to Wind of Change and go, I don't know, solve some kind of political climate or something.
Yeah. All right. Klaus, do you laugh at stories like that when you hear that? I mean, like, oh, did the CIA write Winds of Change? Like, do you just crack up or?
Yeah, I mean, I really cracked up when I heard this conspiracy theory, you know. But these things are happening these days, you know, and this podcast became very popular. And celebrating 30 years of Wind of Change with a box set last year, this was some really extra promo, you know.
Yeah. It's perfect.
It was amazing.
I was going to say, so there's no truth to it. CIA was not involved.
I mean, they were not involved in the making of this new album. That's for sure.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you,
well,
sir.
Listen, go pick up Rock Believer, February 25th, Zappos Theater in Planet Hollywood, Vegas, March 25th. Go check it out. It's going to be the year of the Scorpions. I'm calling it now. It's already the best record of rock record of 2022. So, Klaus, this was phenomenal to chat with you, and hopefully we'll see you in Montreal this year. That'll be awesome.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jeremy and Mitch. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. And you're in Montreal right now?
Yeah.
Both of us, yes.
Both. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Great city.
You know,
you got the In-Trance band here.
Kick off the tour in Toronto. That means we're in Montreal next, right? Of course.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
It's already working, but we can't wait to see our Canadian fans as well, because it's also a good moment to say thank you to all you rock believers out there for all your love and support in so many years.
Thank you.
We love you.
Merci bien.
An all-new episode of The Mitch Lafon and Jeremy White Show.
Tuesday at noon.
Available wherever you stream.